you for calling HULU. My name is Ashley. How may I help you today?
Chatting with a chat representative on my mother's Hulu account that I manage for her that's doing a lot of lying.
Oh goodness. Oh no. Okay. Um.
I'm
Can you
I'm I'm gonna
tell?
keep I'm gonna keep the chat open uh and go over the lies that I'm discussing with the person on chat and have you verbalize what I'm verbalize Hulu's position on what I'm reading from this liar.
Um. Okay. Well, I'd be happy to, try to correct any misinformation there. Let me pull up the account here, and I apologize again. Can I get your first and last name?
My first name is Zori. That's Zorri. My last name is Rush. Rush. You'll find my name as the name for on the payment for the authorization for payment on the card that was used to open the
Okay.
account. And the name on the Hulu account is Elaine Rush, who insists with my grandmother on using your services so that they can continue to watch Days of Our Lives, Young and the Restless, and Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, okay.
So it
Okay.
is
And what would be?
essential to continue this fraudulent process that I have engaged them in, this, despite the fact that I'm calling you because it's fraud. Now, let
Okay.
me just read to you. You said
Really
you had
quickly,
some more
sorry.
security questions.
Yeah, let me get the email, please,
What email? The email address?
on the account.
ELAINERUSH39744 at gmail.com.
Okay, so with that Eleine, you said?
No, ELAINE. Elaine Rush. His first last name, zip code 39744 at Gmail.
Okay, so Elaine Rush 39744 at Gmail.
You got it.
Let me pull that up. And the
This
date
is
of birth on
horrible
file?
for me. This is horrible for me because I don't. It sounds like you're at home. At least I know you're not in a call center, which is where I did your job. I didn't do customer service. I did sales on the other end, and
Hmm.
this is hard for me because I know this person on the phone is lying to me. And I watched people on my job get fired every day for what he is now doing. And
Right.
I I know those people needed to stay on the job to feed families, to take care of bills, to live in an oppressive economy. They risk all of that security to tell a lie. Now, the difference between that guy and, on my job and what this guy is doing is that this is supposed to be customer service to retain a customer who is new. That's not what's happening. For some reason, these chat there are two are taking Hulu's time to change the statements that I have made so that they can misconstrue what the entire complaint is about. So I don't know what you have documented as what the case number 58185390 is, but what I'm talking to these people on chat about
Hmm.
cannot be disputed in the procedure that was told to me for that case number, which would be a procedure through email where I can actually provide the evidence, actual evidence that proves that Hulu committed fraud on that link advertising a free trial. I can prove it. These chat representatives cannot accept my proof and are refusing to allow me to communicate with someone at Hulu who can.
Gotcha. Okay. I'd definitely be happy to take a look into, the issue with the free trial link
I
and all
think
of
what
that.
the issue what needs to happen now is I talk directly to the only people at Hulu who could have committed what I am now telling you is a crime. Whether you believe it or it is or not, I've read a criminal statute that says the false advertisement that I received to coerce the purchase of a higher price item is a crime committed by Hulu. I think it best for me to speak with your technical department, your department that manages the entire website, so that I can identify the specific website issue that is my evidence that that crime happened intentionally.
Okay. And now, so basically, you were trying to do a free trial. You clicked on the free trial link, and then when you got everything put in, did it just say, due today, and then show the amount, the actual
All of
amount?
that communication has already been submitted. Exactly what happened was
Okay.
submitted to a chat representative in that who created that case number
Okay.
on
Uh,
Frank G at 9:07 the week after this trial started. The creator of that case number, Frank G, has a chat that you can go back through and read and see exactly what I say happened. And the reason why I said I need to talk to someone in your technical department is because someone actually initiated that crime that day. And the reason why I know that is because the prices that I was going over with Frank G didn't even
mm,
make sense to Frank G. That's why the escalation occurred.
okay. I gotcha.
So
And
there is
I
an employee
apologize. I'm
there, a
not on.
employee named Frank G, who can verify that my statements and what Hulu's procedure, what can be verified by through my statements, through your pricing, what you did on your pricing on the day of my purchasing, which is apparently some discounts that were added and they were taken away, and then the website changes, and went through some website issues, and then there was a link that was provided. All of those things that were described were even not just odd to me, they were odd to Frank G, who created that case number and escalated the entire issue. Since then, these employees who and Frank G is the one who told me that I would get an email so that I could send that evidence that I was telling them that about telling Frank G about over the phone. I would get an email from Hulu so that I could send that evidence. And what that evidence is that there was a bait and switch. That Hulu advertised a free trial,
Mm,
opened up a terms of, and conditions that allowed the purchase of the Hulu free with ads with the free trial, approved it, accepted payment, and then removed the discount all in one fell swipe. Now, the representative, Frank G, claimed that the only way that that could have happened is if I personally went in and changed the selection to get the Hulu and the live Hulu and the terms and conditions changed. But that is not what happened. I know that's what you guys are taught the procedure is, but that is not what happened. And
Okay.
the only way that I personally can access the same link that I use would be to have someone at Hulu completely close out this entire account so that I could get access to that link again. But I don't even know that
Um,
Hulu is even still using the link because even Frank G attempted to send me a new link. So
okay.
apparently after I reported my issue, someone in your tech department resolved the whole issue completely by creating an entirely new link. And I know that to be true because the new link actually leads to a higher price where the price goes up next month. And that happened
Okay.
all in one day, the same day that I called and reported it.
Got it. Real quick, so I can discuss the account. What would be the date of birth on file?
Yeah, and that is the procedure that I am specifically talking about. Is the date of birth on file is 5/22/1957. The chat
Okay.
representatives that I am speaking to, now you have the it would appear since this was a phone call that it would be necessary for you to go through the uh, procedures to verify the account information, but your chat representative should not. And that is my first clue that something criminal is happening inside Hulu when the website service itself should be accessible to secure chats only to the individual who has already provided the information that you just requested from me. However, each of the chat representatives apparently have negated the whole security of chat by asking though that question. And that
Mhm.
means each of those chat representatives could have, even and especially if you are working at home right now, written down that information and use that to access bank accounts, access uh, email accounts, and do all type of account manipulation with that personal information that is supposed to be secured through that chat. But they're not
Gotcha.
using the secure chat, they're requesting this information.
I understand. And I can tell you that yeah, our procedures and policy, whether it's, chat or phone, we do have to ask that information. Um,
I know the reason why I'd like for you to get me to your technical support so that the issue can be escalated to the person who's writing your policies that are advising you to commit a crime. I don't, as a consumer in the United States, it's just logically to me that when you hear what I'm telling you that happened as a consumer, that you as a consumer of products in the United States would say, wait a minute, this is something we need to address because if this is happening, this is going to cost the whole company money. That's not what's happening. This isn't what's happening. No one's escalating the issue to find out if a criminal act is happening inside Hulu. Everybody's just collecting on what this actual knowledge that a crime might have occurred.
um, so we don't have a way to, escalate to like the website developers or who writes the policies, that kind of thing. Um, we just don't have access to those individuals, um, and I apologize for that. The best thing that I could recommend, if you do have recommendations on you know policy changes, things like that, would be to visit the Hulu community page. You can leave suggestions there, and they do generally get back to you on those suggestions. So that would be the best way to do that.
What was your name again?
Ashley,
I just wanted to know your name.
Sure.
Ma'am, you remember why I called?
So you were saying that when you clicked on the
No,
free
no,
trial link.
no, no,
Okay.
no. I did not receive an email on case number 58185390 reported as Hulu's intentional false advertisement of a free month on a website link intended to coerce payment of higher costs for programming options upon first time enrollment. I'm waiting on an email so that I can send evidence that that happened.
I
That's
do
all I
apologize
that's all
for.
I've called to discuss.
Gotcha. Okay, so we actually don't send emails out to get information like that. But
I hear you saying that, man, but that isn't my issue. I told you the
mhm.
case number. You should be able to access the information in the case number where I was told that would be the procedure. And then remove and then go from there. Because
I mean, I
the
can take a look at
procedure
the
that was
call.
told the procedure that was told to me by Frank G is the procedure that Hulu is expected in the United States to comply with until there are other verifiable changes, which is the
Yeah,
only changes as far as I know, there's only been one case number created, and that case number that was created says that I would get an email. You can't call me and create a new case. So you would need to create a case that says your employee told me I would get an email and I did not.
yeah. Okay, I mean,
That's
I can note that in our call if that's
Okay, and
what
then
you
how do we
need to.
resolve, and that's what we need to resolve, is that a Hulu employee, it's either a lie or it's not, and Hulu's going to have to decide. A Hulu On that case number that I just provided you with, a Hulu employee told me I would get an email so that I could provide evidence that Hulu committed fraud in enrollment of this account, intentionally committed fraud in enrollment of this account. That is the
Okay.
only thing that I've called you to discuss, and that would be the only thing I'd like to escalate is whether or not that person lied when they told that, and how that issue gets resolved.
I mean, I can reach out to higher support through chat, but yeah, I mean, I can as
How do
far
you
as
escalate? How do you escalate the issue, the case number that has not been resolved?
so we don't have a way to do that. We actually aren't even supposed to be giving those case numbers out. And I apologize for the misinformation, but
I'd like to speak to your
um,
supervisor.
so I can reach out to them through
Thank you.
chat. We
You
don't have forward
you
facing higher support, but I can definitely reach out to them through chat and relay the concern. If they are not with any additional chats, because they do take multiple chats at a time, then we may be able to get them
I have a new
to
chat.
give you.
Jarrell ran from the conversation because all this. I'm posting all of this on a pattern on YouTube, and this I just opened up a new chat with Ayana. So if that's what you're gonna do, then go ahead, because what I've just explained to you is that Hulu is now attempting to using the procedure that you're using right now is concealing the plain fact that I reported that false advertisement and charges occurred. Right now, you're concealing that fact.
Well, I apologize. I'm just following the policy that I'm
I
given.
right, right, but
Um,
you,
we do feel
I'm
like
not
that's
talking
something you
about
have to.
you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your policy. So that we're
If you
clear,
do
the policy
feel
that you're using, the policy and procedure that you are using, is allowing you to conceal the fact that I have a written case number that alleges intentional fraud by HULU. You can hide that. You just admitted to that. You just said we're not even supposed to give those out. But it's my case, and it happened to me. And you are now being paid, knowingly being paid, to hide it. And you're claiming that you don't know what to do. But I know what I would do if I found out I worked for a company like that. That would be the day I got up, walked out, and called the Security Exchange Commission and commissioner and said, "Hey, this is what I did for a living, and I didn't know that that's what this company did." But right now, you're telling me that you have a case number that says a customer called and showed and told us procedures where our
I'm not
company
saying that at
committed.
all. I haven't seen the case, sir. So I'm not definitely not saying that we have that because I haven't seen it. And
Are you saying that it's
that's
more? Are you saying it's more likely that the customer is lying to you?
no. I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is I
Okay,
haven't.
well,
That's not something we're
I
authorized.
don't want to discuss what your, I only want to stick to what the policy and the procedure is that you're using. This isn't about what your personal opinion is. It's clear here to both of us that you don't have a procedure for the case number I told you about, including the one where I told you I can expect an email so that I can provide you evidence of the fraud. You don't have a procedure for that, do you?
That is something you would want to report to the Better Business
All
Bureau.
right, that's why I
Um,
need to speak to your supervisor because you are now an unpaid legal advisor. I did not ask you for legal advice on how to conduct business with HULU. If your company's committed a crime, I first need to talk to the people who own the company. So let's escalate the issue to someone who could actually make a determination as to whether or not I should take you to court for what you just stated. So just,
we
yeah,
don't
ma'am,
have
ma'am,
anybody
ma'am
that's
again, ma'am
capable
again,
of
ma'am
that.
again, ma'am again. I'm certain Hulu would not advise you to tell its customers to contact the Better Business Bureau. I don't
When
believe I
when
don't
you're
believe that
telling,
I don't believe that's in your script anywhere. Can you get a supervisor?
I'm
Thank
reaching
you.
out to them currently
I
through
don't want to
chat.
discuss it with you any further. Thank you.
Well, I still have to keep you on the line because I have to reach them out
All right,
through chat.
I'm not going to give you my personal private information, let you steal from me and then not talk to your company about it. So I am going to talk to your company about it. So I'm going to wait.
Okay, and I do need the billing zip code as well.
39744 as I told you earlier.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on a quick hold. 2 to 3 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, I apologize for the longer than expected wait. Are you with me?
I am.
Okay. So I did get all of the information over to Hire Support through chat. So I'm just waiting on them to get back to me now. Um, so it may be just a few more minutes. I'll keep checking back in with you every 2 to 3 minutes or so as needed, but hopefully it won't be too long, okay?
All right, just as long as we are clear on the fact that I have accused Hulu of using a bait and switch to open a fraudulent account, and now I'm waiting to talk to someone about providing evidence of that. Just so we're clear, that's what's happening. Right now, Hulu's charging fraudulent charges based on the customer, and I'm waiting to provide evidence to Hulu.
Okay, so you're saying you clicked on the free trial
Man, well,
link
I'm not
and
here to discuss it with you. I'm here to provide evidence. You can look at the evidence that crime happened, and I don't have to tell you anything.
okay, well, I mean, like I said, we're not authorized to go back and
I'm not. I'm not. I don't know what you're authorized to do, but I know that the court is authorized to bring in the owner of your company, have him present all your records, and then we'll figure out a way to get back. Right now, we're giving your company a chance to do that on its own without having to go to court. So let's just get that
okay,
done.
but
I don't
you're
need you
wanting
to
me to
defend the
relay
company.
that
I'm sure they have
information to higher
lawyers and all
support?
kinds of things to take care of that. You've already come on the phone and given me legal advice on behalf of Hulu. I know nobody paid you to do that. So let's just keep this in context. We're waiting on your supervisor so I can tell them you did that.
I let them know that I
I
told
don't
you
need you
that
to
that was
talk to me
update
because
for.
I'm waiting to tell your supervisor that you're on the phone using Hulu's time to give me legal advice concerning the Better Business Bureau. And I know Hulu ain't paying you to do that. Hulu's paying you to
Okay,
collect money, not refer people to the Better Business Bureau. So stop
okay,
talking to
so
me. Stop talking to me about your excuses and get your supervisor.
if you're going to continue to berate me, then I'm going to
Do whatever you
disconnect.
want. Do whatever you want. I'm waiting on your supervisor and I'm about to put you up on YouTube doing whatever it is they paid you to do today.
Okay, that's completely fine. So I'm waiting on them
Okay, I don't
to get
care.
back.
Just what I'm waiting on them too. You just stole money from me so you can get your paycheck. I'm waiting on them too. So
Okay,
just wait. I don't want to hear you. I want to hear your supervisor.
like I said,
Like
whether or
I
not they're going
said,
to
I
be
don't
able
want
to,
to hear you. I want to hear your supervisor. So let's see what if Hulu gonna pay
I
you to
don't
hang
have
up
the
that
right.
phone. Let's see if Hulu gonna
I
pay you to
don't.
hang up that phone with my
I
money.
don't have the
I don't
right
want to
to
talk to you. I
research.
want to talk to your supervisor. So let's see if Hulu gonna pay you to hang up that phone while I tell you you stole my money. Let's see what Hulu gonna do.
Sir, I didn't personally steal anything from you, and also I don't have a way to directly transfer you over to a supervisor. I can reach out to them.
Again, not my problem. Hulu's problem. Not only is it
Okay,
Hulu's problem that you can't, because I can. I know how cans work. It's not only Hulu's problem that you can't. That's something you need to go talk to your supervisor's problem. It's also Hulu's problem that the fact that you can't is going up on YouTube.
okay, I'm
That's their
just letting
problem.
you know.
That's their problem. You're on the phone saying, "Yeah, I know you want to give us evidence that we committed fraud, but I can't." I hear you on the phone saying that Hulu's problem is, as soon as you figure out how to handle this call, everybody on YouTube is going to hear you saying that.
Okay, so I
I
can
don't
reach
want to
out to
talk. You heard me say I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to your supervisor. I don't know why you keep talking to me, but
because I
you.
don't have a way to do
All
that,
right, well,
sir.
just
I
do
can
what
reach out
figure.
to them
Okay,
through chat.
figure out what Hulu pays you to do and do it without talking to
I'm
me.
reaching out. I am reaching out to
Do
them
it
through chat.
without
I don't have
talking
a
to
way to do
me.
that
Do it
without
without
speaking.
talking to me.
So I can come back when they reach back out, but I don't have a way to
I'm going to
directly
keep the
transfer.
line open as long as Hulu's stealing. As long as I am accusing Hulu of a fraudulent act and attempting to provide evidence they committed a fraudulent act, I'm going to keep the line open until you figure out how to process the call. And I'm going to post it on YouTube when you figure it out. It's
I'm
either
just
going to
waiting
be a
on
good,
that.
it's either going to reflect good on Hulu or it's going to be reflect bad. Right now, it reflects you advise me legally to contact the Better Business Bureau because Hulu is going to steal this money. That's what, right now, that's what we have on video, is you advising me to
I,
do that. But I'm waiting on you to stop talking so I can prove you actually have a supervisor and not just lying to me over the phone. So you can stop
I'm
talking
just
whenever
waiting
you
on.
want and get a supervisor, someone else that works at Hulu, or you can do whatever Hulu is paying you to do when you get in this situation where you have to prove you have a supervisor.
I've already reached out
All
to
right.
them
All
today.
right. I
I'm
heard
just
you when
waiting
you
on them to
said
do
that.
that.
I heard you with you when you said that. Proof and pudding is what I'm waiting on. I'm not having a conversation with you. I'm proving using you to prove a harm against a substantial national interest. So if you want to keep talking after I told you I'm waiting on your supervisor and engage me in communication, I'm certainly going to allow you to do that. But again, I'm waiting on your supervisor and I don't have any value in anything that you had to say other than advising me to contact the Better Business Bureau. You can stop talking to me whenever you like.
Okay, so I'm going to put you back on hold for another 2 to 3 minutes while I wait on them. All right. Thank you for
families
holding. I just
affected
want to let
by
you know
either that
that
tornado
our
are now
support
in the
did get
cleanup
back to me
stage.
through
Rosalind
chat.
Freeman lives in
So
the
I'm just
hardest
speaking
hit
with them
area of
now, and
Lowndes
I'll be
County
right
today.
back with
She
you
joins us in the
in
studio
just
with
another
more on the
two to three
recovery
minutes,
efforts.
okay?
Rosalind.
Yes,
Uh,
families are shuffling
I,
through
I,
years of precious
this is what
minerals,
I
trying to salvage
perceive as
anything they
Hulu
can.
holding
Things
a customer hostage with actual and constructive knowledge that there has been a fraud report. So I don't have a lot of options. I don't know what you know about hostage taking, but when you take a financial hostage, you only do that by removing the options, and that's what you've done. So I don't have options here. I'm going to hold.
I mean, I'm just
I know
letting,
what you're
I'm doing
doing.
what you
You're
asked.
talking after I ask you not to talk. I'm waiting on a supervisor to tell you use Hulu's time to tell me to call the Better Business Bureau. I know what you're doing. It's obvious to me.
Okay, so I'm doing what you asked and reaching
No,
out to
no,
higher
what you're
support.
doing, what I ask you to do is not say anything else and get your supervisor. That's what I asked you
I
to do.
don't have a
What
way to
you're
do that.
doing is
I
the
have
exact
to,
opposite of that.
so I can reach out to them and let you know what they're saying through chat. That's the only thing that I can do.
Well, do that, dear. If that's what you claim Hulu pays you to do, record it for YouTube to see it.
Okay, that's what I'm doing currently. So I'll be right
All
back with
right.
you
All
as soon
right.
as.
All right. You come back and say what Hulu said to tell me. And then when you're
Okay.
done, and then when you're done, we're going to go through this all over again with the next representative and all over again with the next representative until I get your supervisor on the phone and prove you are actually engaged actively right now at this very moment in the cumulative obstruction to financial security of one customer named Elaine Rush.
Okay, so I will be right
Yeah,
back with you in
uh
just
huh,
a
yeah.
couple of
And
minutes.
while you're talking, I'm gonna be saying things like, uh huh, yeah, because you're not doing what I told you to do.
I'm doing what you asked to the best of my ability, and I'll be right back with
Yeah,
you.
I know how what Hulu's profits look like, and I know that's a lie. Hello.
Okay, let's see. So let's see. Give me 1 second here.
I have
They're
a
asking
witness.
for
I have
another.
a witness in the room to your waterboarding now.
Okay, if you're, sir,
I
if
have
you're
a
going to
witness.
accuse me of things like
Waterboarding.
that, then I'm going to end this call.
You
Yes.
do you do whatever they pay you to do.
Okay, so let's keep this professional.
I am
I'm
being
trying
very
to.
professional. As a United States citizen, you don't have a right to waterboard me. But go
Okay,
ahead.
sir, I'm not even physically present with you. So
Oh, do
that's
you think
so.
that? Oh, well, there is a complete definition of how you can waterboard someone using a telephone. Upload it to my YouTube page. We can show you actually doing it when you get done. Go ahead.
I am trying to help you to
I
the
know
best
what
of
you're
my.
already. Again, there is already a page on YouTube that explains the procedure you were about to use. It tells specifically what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you're actually engaged in it right now. And I just had a witness walk into the room that's going to watch you do it. So do it because, like I told you, I'm recording it so I can post it to YouTube to prove Hulu actually did it today. Do it.
Okay, so higher support, who you've asked me to speak with,
You can
is
go ahead because ain't nothing she's
asking me
saying
for
doesn't matter.
another piece of
Nothing.
verification
Nothing.
information.
I asked to speak to her supervisor. Now she's gonna pretend like she is the owner of the whole company and they don't have a means of putting the supervisor on the phone.
I'm
It's called
speaking with the
waterboarding.
supervisor.
It's called waterboarding. I'm just waiting for her to hang up the phone after I asked to speak to her supervisor because she think I'm stupid enough to believe Hulu paid her to tell me to call the Better Business Bureau.
Okay,
That's what
do
she
you want to?
said. Now I recorded her telling me to call the Better Business Bureau about a issue at Hulu. Now it's Hulu issue, but this person on the phone told me to call the Better Business Bureau. Now I said, let me speak to your supervisor. And this is what she doing. Now go ahead, do what you doing. When I asked to speak to her supervisor, this is how she pretends. She's pretending now that she has a supervisor. Go ahead. Somebody's watching you pretend.
I'm definitely not pretending. I'm
Yeah.
speaking with the supervisor
She's speaking
currently.
to the supervisor. Do you see her? Can you hear her supervisor? You can't hear her supervisor. Okay. Nobody in this room can hear your supervisor. We is it possible to you that she might be lying and just saying it? Okay, so I have a second person in the room that says it's possible you might be lying.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
I
I'm
don't
trying
feel
to
that way. There's a second person in the room who says it's possible you might be lying.
would you like to continue the call and
I'd
like
like for
to
you to do whatever HULU is paying you to do so I can record you do it and post it up on YouTube. That's what I want to do because I asked to speak to your supervisor and you found you having a difficult time getting a supervisor. You want to read
so I'm
stuff you said
talking with
somebody
them through
said.
chat,
You want to read
and I'm
stuff you said somebody said, and that's called waterboarding because I asked you to get a supervisor. It's called waterboard.
right.
How do you feel about me telling you you are actively engaged in waterboarding now that we have a witness? How to say what you feel about being an employee that is now actively engaged in the act of waterboarding a United States citizen using a HULU product. I have a witness for your response.
Sir, let's please try to keep this professional. I am
Yes,
trying
I'm
to help you.
professionally calling you saying that you are actively engaged in waterboarding on behalf of HULU, and myself and my witness are patiently awaiting your response. In other words, let me explain to my witness what waterboarding is. She is
Okay,
actually
so
she's using instead of accepting written information in written form, which is what this entire conversation was about, so I can prove they committed a crime. She is forcing me or coercing me is what the law says to discuss the matter over the phone with a possibly fictitious character to exert the amount of water I use in my mouth while I talk. Because talking for all human beings dries your mouth out. So as long as she prevents me from providing the evidence to the company, she can waterboard me over the phone, cause me to exert water in my mouth and dry mouth over the phone to the point where it can actually cause an injury to my throat and still never report the fraud to her company. Now,
okay, sir.
the
So
frauds
higher support
now
said
that we've
will
clarified that
verify
that's what you're doing,
and
go
will
ahead
call
and
you
do
back.
it. Go ahead and do it.
So higher support said if you will verify the account, they will give you a call back. So we just need one more piece of information, and then we can get that account verified. And they said they will be able to give you a call back.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see what
You
else
see
we
what I'm
can
saying?
do here.
It's all writing. They can do everything in writing. And now her supposed supervisor insists on talking over the phone using the water in the mouth. Go ahead. What information do you need?
Give me just a second and let me see what else
See,
we
yeah,
can
they
use.
tell you waterboarding is where somebody holds this thing down over your face and simulates drowning. No, that's not. Waterboarding is a category of torture techniques used by governments to extract property or information. There
So
are
when
several
you
different
sign
ways
up
that is done,
for,
and this what she is doing and what she's now saying her supervisor is going to do. That's one of them.
your,
That's one. One of them is to hold the mask over the face and pour water, and the other one is to just make a person talk until their mouth gets dry on a topic that you know you're never gonna fix it. That's called
so when you
waterboarding.
sign up, sir, are you okay?
I'm
So
talking to.
when you
I
sign
was
up,
talking to the witness of you waterboarding right now. So, what information do you need?
when you signed up for
I'm
the
not
service
asking.
where you got.
I'm not discussing the issue with you. I asked to speak to a supervisor. My witness is here to verify because you advised me to call the Better Business Bureau. I want to talk to your supervisor about that. So,
Trying to get you over to them. I
all
just need
right.
one more piece of
Well,
to verify the account.
what information do you need?
When you signed up for the account, was that directly through Disney or Hulu, or was that through a third party like Amazon?
All that is in the case number. All that
Okay,
information
so
is in the case number.
I would need that. Who the account's billed through? I would need that for
Who the account
verification.
is billed through? That's not what you asked me. You asked how I signed up. The account is billed through
Okay.
Chase through Hulu. As a matter of fact, on the very day I signed up, as I told you earlier, you increase the price and stop accepting Amazon payment. On the very day of sign up, you increase the price, change the link to sign up for a free trial, all on the same transaction. All on one transaction. No matter how many transactions you have, there was one transaction at Hulu where your company accepted the payment and then made different transactions to result in a different price that would increase the very next month on the same day. Anything else you need from me to complete your waterboarding task?
I'm just relaying the
Well,
problem.
you said that's all you needed. You heard her say that's all she needed was one more thing. Now she needs to talk more. Talk more.
Okay. So I'm going to put you on a hold until they're ready
See
to
what I'm
give you a
saying?
call back. Okay, and I'll be
This
ready.
is how waterboarding works. This is how now you look at TV and the TV is gonna tell you this the arm. No, the government has a whole lot of different ways
And
to
Nicole, you're welcome to do
harm
that
you.
anytime. I'm not trying to hold you here.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you, sir.
Whether you're trying to or not, we're not discussing what you're trying to do. My witness and I aren't discussing what you're trying to do. We're discussing what you're doing. So if you were trying to do something, it doesn't concern us. What concerns us is what you're actually engaged in at this very moment.
Okay, well, I'm
What
letting you
we
know
can
that the
verify.
problem
We
is
can't
you need
verify
to get the call.
anything you're doing over there on the other side of that phone. We can only verify that on this side of the phone you are actively engaged in waterboarding someone who is trying to provide you evidence of fraud. That's all we can do. We can't see anything you're doing.
Okay, so I'm just letting them know what the problem is so they can give you a
Right.
call back. I'm
All
putting you
right.
on
You
a
said
quick
that a few
hold,
minutes
okay?
ago. I don't know why we're still talking because I'm still waiting to tell your supervisor you told me to call the Better Business Bureau.
Okay, and I did let
I
them know
know,
that
but
as
you're still
well.
talking to me when you know all I want is to talk to your supervisor about calling you telling me to call the Better Business Bureau. So the only reason why you would continue to say things to me without putting a supervisor on is to engage me in different topics.
Okay, give me just a moment.
I
I'm going to
did.
put you on a
I also gave you $74.89.
What did you go on?
I put my name on it.
Oh, okay. What ain't supposed to be what? $39?
Free, free trial, 1 month trial when you
Okay.
sign up. And they done went the same day, like we just told the same day I signed up, they went up on the price to me. Y'all, only thing I'm doing right now is trying to protect y'all from what I see the United States done let happen as a web scam, where people is coming in and taking control of y'all computers and buying stuff and raising the price on stuff, and y'all don't even know it's happening. But I know I'm skilled at it. I've been doing this kind of work for years, so I know how to see it when it happens, and I want to make sure that it don't happen to you or her and nobody else. But they show what they did. The free trial when you buy it, you can't go back and get the link that they use to sell it to you because you can only use it one time.
Okay.
But I copied and pasted everything I did. And I always do that. Everything I did along the way. And then once you buy it, then they change the price on it. That's called a bait and switch. They bait you in there with one thing, then they switch it on you once you in there. And that's exactly what they did the day I signed Mama and them up over there. And when I saw them when they did it, I was looking at them and recording them when they did it. And I told them, I go, look, I'm looking at you now. I see what you're doing. I saw you do it. So right now, you need to just give me what I bought, or we figure out how we gonna resolve this. So right now, I'm just trying to get them on the phone, not even on the phone, so I can send them the email and show them, look, I saw what you did. I took videos of it and I got everything to prove what you just did. They won't even have no she pretending like she can't even find the supervisor. So she gotta know that that's the scheme. She gotta know that they baiting and switching. There's gotta be a higher up in the company who know that they over there baiting and switching. Otherwise, why it ain't her money? Why she gonna lie about it? I'd heard Rep got somebody on the phone if they said, right, I'd heard Rep, like, this boy said we pulled the baby switch on him getting here. She didn't. She got on the phone and lied for the company.
And what you calling better business, we gonna help you with. We're gonna help you get your money.
Like I said, that's why I asked to speak to her supervisor, because at that point, she committed a crime against her company. Because her company would be saying, oh, is that what happened? Well, let me go fire whoever did that to you, and then you get your free money and you pay us next month. You just stay a good customer. That's what the company would say. She said, call HULU. I mean, call the business bureau.
You brought your flowers in.
That one over there.
Like it's about to die, ain't it?
They didn't put no water on it.
Oh, okay. They must have a whole lot of Christmas presents. They got 2 trees.
Didn't have no water on the day the TV got here.
Huh?
It didn't have no water on when the day the TV got here.
I heard that. Hey, they look good sitting on this thing.
Yeah, they made my head hurt yet.
Well, they still got stuff to put up, ain't they?
This craziness over here.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let me get my butt on. Oh, that's cute.
What you doing, Christmas? What is it? I
On
can't
the
see.
table. Damn.
Oh, that girl had that over here for her. Destiny had it over here for her birthday. It was in September, I think, 6th or something like that. And they had a big old white thing there.
Ooh, this is pretty.
You done
too.
come to visit me?
Yeah.
Just to visit?
Yeah. That's all. What am I supposed to do? I ain't
Ask
been
me
to-
for something you want to. You don't need me to do
I
nothing.
want my birthday. Christmas
No.
present.
I knew it was something.
I'm going home. I ain't stood.
All right.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay.
All right, thank you again for holding. I'm back with you. So I let higher support know all the information. They said they will be giving you a call back as soon as they are able to do that. and they do not have a time frame on that, and I apologize for that as well.
You're just entertainment for me.
Okay, so was there any
You are
questions
you
or
are
anything?
you are simply entertainment for me. I am going to relieve myself of urine. You are entertainment for me. I am paying Hulu right now for you to dance and talk in a box.
Okay, was there any questions or anything else I can help with before I let you go? So higher support is going to be giving you a call back. Again, I don't have a time frame on that, but it shouldn't be too long, hopefully. And I apologize again that I don't have a time frame for that, but they will be getting in contact with you. And no questions or anything I can help with. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and end the call then. I just want to let you know you'll get an email with a survey about the service you got from me today. If you want to hold on the line, there'll be one at the end as well. Thank you for calling HULU. You have a great day.
Thanks for taking the time to share your feedback. We have only 3 questions. Question number 1. On a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best, how would you rate your experience with the agent who assisted you today? Please enter your rating, then press pound. Question number 1. On a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best, how would you rate your